All right, we're here. There we go. How y'all doing? Thank y'all for coming in. I'll say hi to Todd, and who else do I have? Mandy, Lee Rains is in. Hi, Sock is here from the KM Mac project. We got Parker and Lily here. Hi, everybody. Did I miss anybody? Steve's over here. Say hi, Steve.
Hello.
No audio. Are you kidding me? Why don't I have audio? Oh, man. All right, hang on. Hello? You have audio. Can you hear me?
Sounds good. Adventure says sounds good.
All right, I hear you. Parker and Lily. Hi, Jeff. Hi, Troy. All right, I have audio, right? Everybody can hear me now? Oh, it was Todd. Well, there you go. All right, great. All right, so we did a live stream last Tuesday, and we talked about the trip to Peru, and we talked about the mission side of the trip, what we did in missions. And Steve's going to watch the chat, so if there's questions in there or somebody comes in, he's going to tell me in case I miss it, because I'm trying to keep track with my notes, and I'm going to show y'all some pictures. So excuse me because I still have a cough, but
She might be in trouble with me watching it.
no, you have to be diligent in your duties.
All right. Well, then I'm gonna have to look at this because that's too far for me to look.
All right. Well, you have to be in the frame so people can see your face.
They don't want to see me.
All right. So we went through the week in missions, and then we opted to stay another week to do some exploring and have some fun. So they had hired a company to take us on some excursions, and that's what I'm going to be showing you some pictures. So our day, November 16th, was supposed to be a free day where we got our supplies together, got ready to go up to Lima, and then on to Cusco. But we ended up doing some exploring, and I got a lot of steps in this week. Well, I got a few steps in last week, but I got a lot of steps in the week that we did the exploring. So we went on a tour of the Wari ruins. So we all got on a bus that morning and went off over to the Wari ruins. Oh, Angela's here, Mrs. Adventure, Mrs. Troy's wife, Adventure America. Deb. Is Deb here? You're not watching the chat at all. He's slacking on his duties here.
I told you you'd be in trouble.
All right. Hi, Deb. Saying hi to Deb. I don't know if Deb's in the chat or not. But anyway, we went on a trip going up to the Wari ruins. I'm looking to see if I can see Deb here. Bear with me, folks. I don't want to miss anybody. So this is when we're on the bus going up there. This is some of the landscape that we passed by. And we got up to the Wari ruins. And to be able to go into the Wari ruins, you have to fight a warrior to do that. So I took on the warriors. So this was fun. They had a couple of warriors out there, the Wari warriors, and we got to have some pictures done with them.
It reminds me of a movie.
The movie?
Yeah, warriors.
The warriors.
Come out to play.
So we got pictures done, and then we went on into the area where we got to be able to tour it. And there was a lot of walking involved in this too. So our guide spoke English and he was able to, oh, all things Angie is here. Hi, Angie. We were able to communicate because the our guide spoke English, and he told us all about the Wari tribe. They were before the Incas in Peru, and they had a city. This city that we were going to explore was buried underground, and they had uncovered about 9% of it, and that's what we got to look at. So I just wanted to show you some of the ruins, and I'm going to remove some of the pictures as I'm going along. And bear with me because there's no easy way for me to do this. And I tried to do this last week, and y'all said it turned out okay. But this is us going off down the path after we came out of the building where they showed us some artifacts and stuff from the Wari tribe. So we had a lot of walking to do, which was fine. I needed some exercise. He loves the song. What's the song?
I am a warrior.
Oh, I'm a warrior.
All of them. He went through and named a couple of them.
Angie's saying hi to you. Tell me.
I got her.
Yeah,
I did. I got her.
Oh, all right. Well, you have to tell me what people are saying. All right. So this is our group. We have 7 people in our group for the exploring week. A few of the people went on their own way, and some people went home. Some of the doctors went home, but there were 7 of us that were left for the rest of the week to do the exploring. So this was part of our group here, and they were telling us about some of the things that they had uncovered, some of the places they uncovered. So that I just have a few pictures of that. Let's see what we got. This is kind of like I guess where people lived in this long row of buildings, and there was like a courtyard down there. I don't have everything on all of these buildings and everything. I'm trying to remember everything. We saw so much and I didn't take notes. So bear with me on that. If you have questions, feel free to ask. I'm going to try to add a couple more pictures on here. Oops. All right, let me see. Bear with me. Now this, if you see that flat slab right there in the rocks, that had something to do with like a sundial, or how they were able to tell what day it was or what time of the day it was. He was talking about that being some kind of a, what do they call those platforms? A sun platform, or something to do with astrology. They knew what the date was and the time and stuff by this flat slab. That was another view from the one I just showed you. So I'll go ahead and get rid of that one. This was, us continuing on along the path. I'm just was trying to show you that I did get a lot of walking in. Lisa's here. Hi, Lisa. Good to see you tonight. How's Mr. Charlie doing? A sundial. Correct. That's what I was trying to say. I'm glad somebody's helping me here. They said the city disappeared not because there was a war and they were taken over, but the city disappeared because of illness. Like some kind of illness came and kind of wiped everybody out, everybody in the tribe out. So I'm not sure how the city got buried, or if, if it was like over the years or whatever. But and I'm not even sure why somebody hasn't uncovered it before now, but if they've just discovered this underground city. But they're working now to uncover it, and they're like at about 9% now uncovered. Let's see. That's just showing the same path I just showed. It was kind of overlooking the city. It was a great lookout point for if they were going to be attacked, because they were up on a mountain, so they overlooked the areas and they could see people coming towards them if they were coming to attack them or something. So it was it was a good they were in a good location. Dennis is here. Hi, Dennis. How are you this evening? Now, these are tombs. And the tombs, they were unburying the tombs. And what they told us about the tombs is the leader of the Wari tribe, the leaders, they were buried lower into the tombs. So it was like layers, like each layer had people in there. And in the bottom layer was the people that had great wealth, or the leaders of the tribe. That way, it would take, if somebody was trying to rob them, they would have to go deep, and then it was really dark down there. So it would keep most people out of there from being like grave robbers. Everybody's been removed from there now. All the mummies and stuff have been removed from there. But we were able to look at that, which I thought it was pretty cool. They gave us a good story about that. And I just thought it was cool. Let's see what else we got here. This is just another picture of the group. I'm trying to now, I have to go in one at a time now and try to add pictures. So bear with me. Yeah, like a catacomb. How was the energy there? Did it feel any kind of way? No, I didn't notice anything at all about any energies or anything. Was this an all-day hike? No, it was probably a couple of hours or so. I mean, we got a lot of information. He did give us a lot of information. So, and we kind of went up and around and then circled back down. So when we finish there, I don't know if there's any other questions that y'all have about that.
What did y'all eat there?
What did we eat there in Peru itself?
At this place here?
We didn't eat at the warrior place. That was just a place that we visited. What they had told us was the Wari Empire was before the Incas. The Spanish invaded Peru in 1532, attacking the Inca Empire. Now, when the Spanish came in and attacked Peru, they took all the tribes and they separated them. Like they tried to mix them and mingle them up. And so they did this because if you were to go to war and you put people facing each other and you see your relatives on the other side, you're not going to attack your relatives. So the Spanish did this so that they could keep more order and keep more control of the people. So they wouldn't have the groups attacking each other and trying to take control, which I found kind of fascinating. So Peru was under Spanish rule for almost 300 years until its independence in July of 1821. We did go to the Independence Monument, and I'll show you that too. But this area here, once we got done touring the Wari area, they took us to lunch to have lunch. Yeah, National Geographic. It was really fascinating. All these areas that we visited were really, really fascinating. Now, this was an area they took us to have lunch, and the overlook was just gorgeous. You could, like in Peru, the mountains and everything, you can just see for miles and miles and miles. So this was one of the areas that they took us, that was part of where the restaurant was. I'm going to add another photo here. Let me do this one.
You see, Troy said it looks like a catacomb. You saw that, right?
Mm-hmm. So they were taking our pictures and stuff at the overlook. That was kind of cool.
Nature Dog.
Nature Dog Realms. That's Chris. Hi, Chris. How are you today? I'm glad you could stop in and say hi with us. Now, at the restaurant, they had some alpacas. So they brought one of the alpacas down and let us take pictures with the alpaca, which was pretty cool.
I want one for the backyard, just like that.
A cute little one?
Yeah, I want a cute one for the backyard.
Then if we get hungry, we could eat them.
You would have to buy. You would have to buy yarn again.
Oh, that's true.
You have your own yarn factory.
I did get an alpaca knit scarf. Is Dennis leaving us? Take care, Dennis. Y'all have a good night. Thanks for stopping in. This was my lunch at the restaurant. I didn't have alpaca. I had, I think that was pork with potatoes. They served everything with potatoes and rice. So it was pork with potatoes and rice and veggies. I tried not to eat too many potatoes and rice. I really got tired of eating potatoes and rice, but with all the walking and stuff, it really didn't even affect me because I ended up like down 7 pounds when I got home. So that was all good. All right. So we went to the Independence, where they had the Independence Monument. So this is a picture of the monument. And they were telling us about the different generals and stuff that fought in the war where they got their independence. And the monument had some pictures of the generals on it, which was pretty cool. We went up around the monument to get pictures and stuff. It was, I mean, their independence was in 1821, in July of 1821. So they celebrated their independence in July like we do, like, you know, our Independence Day. And they said that the U.S. had a plaque around the base of the monument, but we didn't find it. We looked for it and we didn't find it. There were other countries and stuff that had plaques there. I guess they helped with the war, but we didn't find it. And then we went to a ceramic place when we were done there. Really wasn't. It was, you know, they were trying to sell stuff, but no big deal, right? Yeah, I love the history of different places. I love the culture in different places. I find it all fascinating. I think Steve would have liked this part of the trip. We got a lot of good information. I don't retain like history and stuff. I had to kind of go back and kind of get some information to write down so that I could tell you about all of it because I was never good in history in school and I don't retain all that. And when somebody's shooting out all these facts, I can pick up little things like interesting things like they mingled the tribes so the tribes wouldn't go at war and stuff like that. I remembered stuff like that, but I don't remember dates and all that kind of stuff. So after we finished on the 16th, we packed up, left the hotel, and we flew to Lima and then caught another flight to Cusco. So the 17th was just a travel day. On the 18th, we were in Cusco and we toured Cusco. Again, another beautiful city, another, a lot of fascinating history there. Uh, we toured a church that we were not able at all to take pictures in or video. They told us we weren't allowed to. But the hotel was really beautiful that we stayed in. It was decorated for Christmas. It had a lot of gold in the lobby. The rooms were really, really nice. I shared a room with the same girl the whole time we were there. I had a room that had 3 beds in it, and there was just 2 of us in the room, the same as we had in Ayacucho. And we slept on the outside beds and then used the inside bed for our suitcases. This was the lobby. Look at how pretty the chairs and everything are. Everything is in gold. And then they had the Christmas tree there in the corner. The receptionist spoke English and were very, very helpful when we needed things. So that day we went into Cusco and did some touring in Cusco. This is like the square out, kind of like we had to walk down maybe a block or so, and then there was like a town square there, kind of like in Ayacucho where we stayed in Ayacucho. Yeah, I do the best I can. I tried to go back into the internet and try to find dates and stuff so that I wouldn't mess that up. And I'm trying to give you the best facts I can, but I'm not a historian or anything. So, I just wanted to share the pictures. I know y'all want to see the pictures. I do have some video. I'm going to put the video out. Um, I wanted to do the live stream first because that's only fair for the people who wanted to come to the live stream to see the pictures first, and then I'll share some video. But this was our group that stayed. There's 7 of us that stayed. This was in front of the church that we went into, but we weren't allowed to take video. This church had so much gold in it. It was absolutely gorgeous. I don't know that I've ever been in a place that was as pretty as this place. Oh, Betty's here. Pre-retirement days. Hi, Betty. How are you tonight? So after we toured the church, we went into like, I think it was like religious ruins, what they were calling it, religious ruins from the days of the Incas. And we kind of toured through that. And it was kind of like in a street or two behind where that church was. And it was right there in Cusco. So I have a few pictures of the ruins, the old religious ruins that we toured through. which was, kind of interesting too. It was a lot of walking. And the guy, our tour guide that was with us all week, and he was taking us through all these places. He was like super fascinated with the stonework and the way the Incas built stuff with stone. And he just kept telling us, look at the cornerstone, look at the way the stones are. It's just, you're not going to find anything like this. This is just beautiful. And then we went to some other ruins. I have some pictures of those where it shows the stonework even more close up. and and it's really, really fascinating. This is me overlooking the city down there, or overlooking some of the ruins. I wish there was a easier way to share these pictures. All right, so then we went on and we went to it was called Sakwe Waman. Excuse me. And it was a monumental Inca fortress on the outskirts of Cusco. So this is one of their fortresses from the Inca era. And these are ruins. We saw a lot of ruins while we were there. And I have a picture, let me see, of the stonework that he's talking about. We saw it throughout the religious site that we were at, and we saw it in these ruins, in the Saxe ruins. But you see the cornerstones, the way they're rounded. The stones fit together without mortar. There's no mortar, no cement, nothing holding these fortresses together. It's just huge stones that they kind of rolled them on logs and stuff, and got them put up, built fortresses out of them, and didn't use anything to secure these stones together. It was they called incredible engineering. He was just fascinated. Our tour guide was fascinated with all the engineering of this stonework. Look at these fortresses, and none of this has mortar. None of this is built with anything holding these stones together. They're just stacked on top of each other.
Who's your photographer? Joy.
We would give the camera to whoever was closest to us. Sometimes the tour guide would take it if he was taking like group pictures or something.
This picture makes me want to grab you and say, honey, get out of there.
It's going to fall on you.
On you.
It's going to fall. It's going to fall. Now, this is pretty cool. This picture that I'm getting ready to put up. We walked, I mean, there was a lot of walking. So we walked through like the stones and stuff, and we were going into different like rooms, I guess. They were just openings where they had rooms, and they had a slab in this one room. And the guy says, this room is where they sacrifice people to the gods. And he just said, does anybody want to be sacrificed to the gods? And we're all like, we think not. So, but he talked a few times. He was talking about how they sacrifice people to the gods and stuff, and how people thought it was an honor to be able to be sacrificed. And I found that all kind of a little strange, but it was fascinating to tour, though. Very, very fascinating to tour. Some of these, the pictures I'm looking at to upload. This is overlooking the city from up on the hill where the fortress was. Look at all the houses down there. Isn't that incredible? Yeah, Angela's saying it's amazing what they could do without modern technology. Also, that it lasts as long as it does while modern things fall apart. Yeah, you got that right.
There's no money in that.
Yeah, exactly. Um, let's see what I got here. This is me in front of one of the fortresses there. It's hard for me to see what picture I'm loading because these pictures are really, really tiny. I'm trying to find ones that would be interesting to you, but I'm going to do like I did with the mission pictures. I'm going to just do a video and put all the pictures in there. But as you can see here in Mitsu Picchu and Rainbow Mountain, all these places that we went, there was a lot of climbing, there was a lot of stairs, there was a lot of walking. I think the touring of Cusco, I had my phone had the step counter on it, and I had almost 1,300 steps by the end of the day. On this day that we're touring right now. And that's a lot for me because I'm lucky if I get 5,000-6,000 steps. So this was like twice as much walking as I would do, even if I'm like trying to walk.
13,000 what? 13,000?
13,000 steps.
Is that what it was?
Mm-hmm. This is some of us taking a break. Just trying to get some of the background scenery too, because I wanted to share all of that with you. So,
did you say 13,000?
13,000 steps. I had 12,850 steps that day.
For that day?
So the ruins were built in the 15th century. When we finished with the ruins, we went down to an alpaca farm. They took us down to an alpaca farm. And we got to kind of hang out with the alpaca a little bit and get our pictures. And we got to feed them. I have a video of me feeding them. And then we went through, they had a place where you could buy stuff made with alpaca fur and stuff like that. I didn't get anything there. Was there a big temperature swing? It depended on what elevation you're at and what time of day it was. Most of the time, it was very comfortable. We didn't have any issues at all. When we got up like on the top of Rainbow Mountain, it was freezing. So we knew to dress in layers. And most of the time we dressed in layers anyway, because we never really knew what it was going to do during the day. So we would have a few layers on, be able to take layers off as we went through our day. At nighttime, it got cooler at nighttime. The hotels didn't have air conditioning, but they did have heat in the room. But we just kind of, they always put like a lot of layers of blankets in the rooms. So we just bundled up. At night, we just, as it got cooler, we threw more blankets on. They had, in the alpaca farm, had guinea pigs. Now, guinea pigs was something that they ate there. I did not eat guinea pig. I said this before, but I don't eat rodents. But I did try alpaca meat. It does taste like beef. And that wasn't too bad. And that was the night we went to dinner. And the show that I showed, the Dancing with the Monster,
Mhm.
that was the night we did that. They served water at the restaurant in these bottles. Oops.
So Todd was saying you're lucky that that alpaca that you were standing next to wasn't a spitter. But when I saw that picture, it just looked to me like you guys knew each other forever. When I looked at it, it's like they got to know each other.
Who, the me and the alpaca?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we didn't get spit on by any of them. I'm not
Troy says
sure.
he
Oh,
won
it's
it.
showing it.
Troy
Okay.
says he won the 10th 13 steps, 13,000 steps.
Oh, not like 13,000 steps on my step counter. Not 13,000 like to walk up 13,000 steps.
Okay.
It was walking around and then doing some steps and then doing a lot of walking and steps. Now at Rainbow Mountain, that was different. There were steps at the end of that, but I'm talking about 13,000 walking steps on my step counter
For the whole day.
for the whole day.
So what is that? 2 miles?
No, it's well over 2 miles. I think a mile is a mile. Todd might know. NFH NF. Oh, I know who that is. Wow, I can't think of her name. Oh, help me out. Give me your name.
6 miles.
6 miles is 12,000 steps.
2,000 steps is 1 mile.
To that, yeah, that's what I thought. 2,000 steps was 1 mile. But hi, thank you for coming in. Lillian, that's right. I'm sorry. It's been a minute since I've been at your channel. You got to come and jiggle my chains a little bit more often. That way I can remember to go and see you. I do see you going live from time to time. But how you been? I hope you've been okay. So on November 19th, we went to Aguas Caliente. And we stayed overnight there. We took the train up there. It was a little town. It was hills. It's like you had to walk up hills. No matter where we went, we were always walking up hills. I don't know when we ever got to go downhill, but we seemed like we were always going uphill. But we stayed in this little room beside the train station. Wasn't the greatest hotel, but we were only there for one night, and we went there so that we could go to Mitsubishi. It was close by there. So it's a little town that's located at the foot of Mitsubishi. And again, we walked like from the train up a hill to the hotel with our baggage that we brought with us. We brought overnight bags and we left our other bags at the other hotel. We kept a room in the other hotel to keep all of our bags in. And because we're going back to the other hotel when we finished at Mitsubishi. So we stayed there at Aguas Caliente for one night. The attraction there is hot springs, and we had intentions of maybe going to the hot springs, but we ended up not going. There's a lot of restaurants and shops right there within walking distance. We did put our suitcases and stuff away in our rooms, and then we ventured out, did a little shopping. We went to a restaurant. Our tour guide was still with us there. He didn't stay at the hotels with us, but he would come every day and pick us up. So he kind of walked us around this little town, and we did a little shopping. We had some dinner at one of the restaurants, and this is one of the sights that I saw going up there was this lady, and she was herding sheep. She, this was their culture. It just was so cool. It was an amazing trip. It really was an amazing trip. There was nothing that I can say negative about this trip at all. I so very much enjoyed it. So they took us again to alpaca farm. And they gave us little hats and little shawls with blankets. I guess they put blankets on us. Oh, not that one. Hold on. Sorry. I'm messing up my pictures here. So this was our group. I don't know why it's blue on my thing, but
Jeff wants to know if the Peruvian people were hospitable.
very much. They were very, very nice. Especially when we were in the clinics, doing the clinics there. They were so nice and so sweet, and we didn't have issues with any of them. They actually liked Americans. They didn't have anything negative to say about Americans. The tour guide was very upfront and honest with us. And
Troy says he wants to go.
I would say go. I really would. Get yourself a tour guide, though, because I don't think I could have done it without having a tour guide taking us around, because they knew where to take us. They knew how to get around. We had, when our group of 7 went to Mitsubishi, they messed up our tickets. So it was like they gave some of us tickets to do one thing and some gave us tickets to do something else. And it ended up, he said, when we walked in, he said, don't worry, I'm going to fix this. And he told one group to go up to a section and wait for him. And he took us down to another section. And then he said, he talked to a guard and he said, look, these groups are supposed to be together. And the guard just kind of like overlooked it and turned his head and said, just go. So, I mean, they really tried to make it work for us. So when we left the alpaca farm, we were riding on the bus along, and we came to an overlook, and the bus pulled off this overlook and told us to get out. He wanted to take our picture, and we looked over, and there was like a salt mine down over the overlook. So we went into the salt mine and toured the salt mine area. We had to, of course, go through a little marketplace to get there. Let me see if I can find that picture.
So it's Peru in South America, right?
Yes.
Not Central. It's in South America.
South America.
On the West Coast.
On the West Coast. Well, towards the bottom. Yeah. This is a little marketplace. We kind of had to walk through that to get down to where the salt mine was. And then when we got to the salt mine, he told us it dated back to the Inca era.
Todd wants to know if you brought that hat home.
No, they wouldn't. That was not for us to bring home. Plus, it probably wouldn't have fit in my suitcase. So they told us during the 16th and 17th centuries, control over the salt mines remained the descendants of the Incas. So the Incas had control over the salt mines. In the 19th century, ownership fell into private individuals, and it led to a dispute over access and control of the salt mines. In 1969, the Peruvian state assumed control of the salt extraction and the commercialization of the salt. In 1980, local communities regained control, owned by residents of Maras in Pishingoto. Today, around 400 families own salt wells in the area. And the salt wells are fed by a natural spring. You could see the natural spring running down, and it was feeding into the salt. And you can see in this picture the different stages, because some looks like brown and some looks white. So the salt was doing whatever it does to make salt. It was in different stages of production. That was kind of fascinating. Now, when you go back up through the marketplace to go out, of course, they're selling all kinds of different salts and herbs and stuff to go in the salt. But it was really kind of cool to see it.
Must have been a warm day.
It was kind of warm. Well, we did a lot of walking. I mean, by the time you're in the middle of the day and you've done all the walking, it's pretty warm. And so this is me in front of the salt mine. And let's see. This is a close up. Let me see, get you a close up. Can you see it? That's kind of the different stages of the salt being, what would you call that? Being cured, being what? I don't know what it's called. You can buy Himalayan salt. You can buy Peruvian salt. Did not know that. Yes. And, they were saying bad things about the Himalayan salt. They were saying it was fake salt. You know how it is, when you have competition against somebody else. They're like, oh, it's not the real pink salt. We have the real pink salt here.
Talk says they're evaporation ponds. So I guess the words you're looking for.
Oh, okay.
After
So
the water evaporates, you're left with the salt.
Oh, okay. I gotcha. See, I'm sure they told me that. I'm sure they told us that. Sometimes it was kind of hard to hear if they were talking while they were walking or something. And I'm sure they explained all that, but I get like maybe a tenth of what people say when it's like a group kind of setting thing. Do you notice that? It's like you can't take everything in. You're trying to look, you're trying to see you see the bags there on the bags of salt that they've harvested or whatever you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty cool. Now the spring, if you're looking all the way to the left of the picture, the spring ran down to the left of the picture, all the way down behind the the evaporation ponds. And they say certain families own certain ones of these ponds, and they just passed it down from generations or something. They pump the brine into the pond, then let the water evaporate off, then collect the salt. See, you know more about it than I do. But that makes sense. Yeah, I'm sure they explained all that to us. It's really interesting. It's very, very cool.
They do the same thing in Bonaire.
Yeah, Bonaire, but they bring it in from the sea, don't they?
Sea salt, yeah.
Yeah. We did visit the salt, how they were doing the salt down when we were in Bonaire too.
We got a piece up there somewhere.
We do.
I don't know where it's at.
It's in that cup right there because it was sweating. I got some shaker salt that I'm giving my son for Christmas because he likes stuff like that. But I didn't get any for us. Now, I think that was it. We went back to our hotel, and the tour guide took us to a restaurant where we had this was Was this the restaurant? That wasn't the same restaurant.
Sock saying he used to be a sailor.
A sailor?
That's what he says. I'm a salty old dog.
Oh, he was a Marine. Don't claim the sailor. Maybe it was the night after Mitsubishi. All right, so we went back to the hotel, or did we go to? Were we on our way to Mitsubishi? Maybe we were on our way to Mitsubishi. I don't know. I didn't keep a journal, y'all. I am sorry.
Well, we all were part of the Department of Navy. You know that, right?
Okay. All right. So we went the next day on the 20th. We stayed overnight there because we had to take our bags on the train. I remember now. We had to take our bags on the train. So we left the hotel the next morning. We put our bags, our suitcases on the train, and we went up to Mitsubishi.
I heard there was no was for Marines.
No. Oh, who said that? Todd, right?
Yeah.
Once a Marine, always a Marine. There was beautiful scenery that we passed on the train. There was a stream that ran down by the train. I took some pictures. I'll put them in a video. I'm not going to show all those pictures because we'll be here all night if I do. And I'm trying to get through some of these slides. But this is some of the scenery that we passed while we were on the train. Steve said that out loud.
It's true. It's the truth.
Well, it is the truth. Once a Marine, always a Marine.
They're a ride from point A to point B.
So Mitsubishi, when we were there, I got in 16,988 steps, 17,000 steps. How many miles is that, Todd, that I walked that day? So Mitsubishi is a 15th century Inca citadel located in the Andes Mountains of Peru. The elevation is 7,970 feet above sea level. It was built around 1450 during the height of the Inca Empire. It sits between the peaks of Machu Picchu and Huayna Picchu, overlooking the Urubamba River. So this was the girl that I roomed with. This is Joy. Her and I, as we were waiting for the tour guide to try to sort out getting our groups together, because they split the group in two. And so her and I were kind of like hanging out, and we had another person with us that took the picture. And this started our journey into the ruins. I'm just going to show you a couple of pictures because I have a lot, and I'll put those in a video. But we were up pretty high because the elevation was pretty high, almost 8,000 foot above sea level. And as you can see in the next picture, it's you get clouds and haze right there over Mitsubishi, over the ruins there.
Looks like freezing fog.
Freezing fog. It was freezing fog. No picking on the Marines. That's right. You tell them, Troy. Troy was a Marine too. No picking on the Marines here. We're coming. We know where you live. We'll come and get you. I did the best I could with the photos. I will share more photos. This is a walking path we were on. As you can see, we have to watch our steps because there was a lot of stones and stuff. It was kind of a little hard walking in places. But I was very careful in my footing, and I think I brought a walking stick for this area because I knew there would be a lot of walking involved. Um, Mitsubishi was likely a royal estate of the Inca Emperor Pakakuti. I don't know.
I don't know.
But I have to get these information. I had to write it down because I wouldn't be able to know this stuff. Anyway, they say the fortress could have been used as a royal retreat. It could have been used as a ceremonial site. It was possibly a military stronghold, and it had architectural terraces for food production. If I can find one of those, that's fascinating because it showed these terraces. Let me try this one. It showed these terraces like it was different levels of ground, and almost looked like steps. And they were saying it really wasn't steps or like a auditorium seating area. It was how they grew crops and stuff. Like if you're looking down and you see those green things that look like steps, that's where they would plant crops. I have a really good picture somewhere, but I don't know where it is. Let me try this picture. Let me see.
This is actually kind of cool.
The ruins.
Mm.
Yeah, when you see the green ones that look like steps, those are actually terraces. They're agricultural terraces where they would plant crops. Which I was thinking they were steps. When I looked at it, I was like, oh, look at those steps. They look pretty tall. How do they get up on those steps? And then he's explaining that it's where they would put their crops. I just thought it was neat. Let me see what else I got.
How old is this place right here?
It was in the what century was that? 1450. It was built around 1450 at the height of the Inca Empire. So you see those terraces? Those would look like steps. They're agricultural terraces where they plant crops.
Okay. I see they have more trees here.
Yeah, there's a little greens, a little bit more green. They were going into the wet season. You see what else I got from Mitsubishi. Does anybody have questions? Mrs. Adventure America. Angela says we rode a motorcycle up Pikes Peak in Colorado and the altitude was brutal. I hear Colorado's pretty tall. I can't imagine how much it would affect you there. How many? 5,000?
5,000 feet.
Mitsubishi is 7,970 feet. Now, my doctor had given me altitude sickness pills, which we were supposed to take before we got to altitude. But the whole time we were there, we were going from 10,000 to 5,000 to 11,000 to, I mean, we were going up and down the whole time we were there, depending on what little village we went to or whatever. This is a picture he took of me in front of the ruins.
Who, the guide?
The guide. The guide was taking most of the pictures of this way. He took everybody on the rock there. He would just like, next, take the camera, take the picture. He was a really good guide. I would definitely recommend this guide service. And he knew his stuff. I mean, he really knew everything he was talking about. He really knew his stuff. The elevation, I thought I would have more problems with the elevation than I did. I didn't seem to have as much problems as some of the other people had. And I wasn't taking a whole pill when I took my altitude pills because I'm weird with medicine. Medicine hits me weird. So I know that I can't take like a whole pill of anything. I have to take half a pill and it'll have the same effect as a whole pill with me. So I was taking a half pill in the morning and a half pill at nighttime. And I would struggle with sometimes with walking. It would be burning in my chest. Like you could, it just took more breath to walk or walk up the hills when they had the hills. It was more strenuous. Whereas if we were at this elevation of 400 foot, between 400 and 500 foot, my chest wouldn't burn. I'd be able to do that. But I thought when we got to Rainbow Mountain, because Rainbow Mountain was 16,250 foot or something like that, I thought I would really have a struggle. But there were people that did, and I don't think I had as bad of a problem as some of the other people had. One of the eye doctor that was with us, he got to the top and said, I need to go down. I am dizzy. I never felt dizzy at all. I never had those kind of issues. This is
Pikes Peak, 14,000.
Yeah, 14,000. That's pretty tall. Pikes Peak is pretty tall. In Colorado, if it's 14,000 foot, that's pretty tall. This is one of the structures. It had like a straw roof in the ruins. And let's see what else I got. Now, so we're almost at an hour here. So, oh, this is cool. I've got a few more I can show you. I'm gonna take another cough drop. These are steps. I climbed a lot of steps, and with my knee, I was really trying to baby my knee to make sure that I didn't have the same issues that I had when I was in Colombia. Well, actually, I had when we were in Mexico was when I think I tore my meniscus last spring. So I was really trying to be careful that I did wear a knee brace when I went here so that I had a little more support on my knee. And I didn't have issues. I really didn't have issues. I will put all of these pictures and the ones I didn't put in a video. The fortress was beautiful. It was amazing to see the terraces. The agricultural terraces were amazing. The whole place was very well manicured and upkept. There were people there working on the stone, making sure the stone was clean and, any growth between the stone was removed. There were people there working on it while we were there. Everything was kept in beautiful, beautiful condition. That night we went to a restaurant. They actually went there and had lunch. And then they all wanted to go shopping. The guide said if we didn't want to go shopping, we could stay in the restaurant. They had Wi-Fi. I opted not to go shopping because I didn't need anything. I had gotten all my souvenirs and everything I wanted already. So this restaurant had a cat, and the cat's name was I forgot the cat's name. Anyway, the cat, when I was sitting there on my phone, the cat came up on my table and came over to say hi to me. Pisco. The cat's name was Pisco. Because the drink there was the Pisco sours. If y'all have ever had a Pisco sour, they're pretty good. Yeah, it does take some preparation. I hiked a little bit.
Trekking with Deb and Mike.
Trekking with Deb and Mike are in. Hey, how you guys doing? You guys have been doing a lot of trekking. I love your videos. Uh, but yeah, I tried the best I could to walk as much as I could. It didn't even because of the altitudes and the struggles I had. Uh, just breathing sometimes. It was so much harder than I thought it was going to be. Doing the walking and stuff around there. I thought I did really, really well though. I hung in with everybody. We had a great time. I didn't say no, I'm not going. I wasn't sick. At the restaurant, when everybody came back, they gave us all aprons and put us behind the bar and had us make pisco sours. They were teaching us how to make pisco sours. Um, and they're pretty good. Um, I think she worked there. And the guide's the guy at the very back. That was our guide. I think the lady in the blue apron worked there. She was one of the, I don't know, owners. Maybe it was her and another guy. Um, Not sure who that was. She wasn't with our group, but the guide, the one on the end, he was with our group. So we got to make and enjoy our pisco sours, and that was kind of a fun little thing that they added for us. And then we took the train back to Cusco, and the train was cramped. It was very uncomfortable. I thought it was uncomfortable. There was room behind the seats for our suitcases. We had to keep our suitcases there. I really wasn't thrilled with the train ride at all. They had a girl in the costume, and she picked one of the guys out of one of the seats and had him dancing with her, kind of like they did with me in the restaurant. But they try to make it fun. Todd says a pisco sour is a classic cocktail made with pisco, lime juice, simple syrup, and an egg white, topped with a few drops of Angostura bitters. Bitters. They had everything kind of measured out, and we just kind of poured it in the cup. It was, it was fun. It was the experience, but it's not like we had to measure things out or anything. They had everything ready for us. The only thing they did was they put ice in the cups and everybody dumped the ice out because they're like, sorry, but we can't drink ice because we don't know where the water came from. So we made sure that everybody dumped the ice out of their cups before they made their drinks. It was fun. We had a great time. Did you really? You got altitude sickness in Cusco. Cusco is 11,000 feet, 11,150 feet. I didn't have any problems in Cusco. In Aca, look at me. I got to read your hat.
Achoo!
Ayacucho. In Ayacucho, I had trouble walking up the hills because, and that was, Ayacucho was, what was their elevation? That was only 9,000, but I had it really burned because that was probably the first place we went. But yeah, still going strong, Dennis. But we did, and another one of the other guys, the guy that got dizzy on the top of Rainbow Mountain, he said his chest was burning when we were walking too. But that was all altitude. I can walk. I don't have a problem walking. I can go on my treadmill and walk 2 miles without breathing heavy, But to do 2 miles at that altitude, it's a total different story. So our last day, we went back to Cusco, and we went up to Rainbow Mountain on our last day there. And this was the one that I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to do it or not. But the guide told us, he said, he said, I will suggest that you take a horse. It was like 2.5 miles or so to the area where you had to get off the horse to walk. So I wasn't sure. And you see the snow, it was cold. That was the parking area where we got out of the vans. We got our hiking sticks and we could start hiking. And you had to go up about, oh, Smoky Cat is here. Hi, Smoky Cat. You had to go up about 2 miles or so, 2.5 miles, maybe 2.25 miles. And then there's an area where the horse could take you that far, but then there were steps. The horse couldn't go up the steep part. So you had to get off the horse. If you wanted to go to the top, you'd have to do the steps. So what the guide said was, I have oxygen. You're going to have trouble just walking a few steps. It's going to be hard for you to breathe. So he said, I suggest you take a horse up until the steps so that you can walk that last half a mile. And because you're going to be struggling. If you walk the whole way, you probably won't be able to walk the whole way and then make it up to the top. So he said, who wants a horse? And I looked around and nobody was saying, I want a horse. There's 7 of us. And then finally my roommate said, I want a horse. And I said, yes, I want a horse too. So Joy and I both got on horses, and the Ketchum people were the people there with the horses. And it actually was good income for them. It helped out the little community there so that they, could afford things. It was kind of like we did each other a favor. The horse, they walked the horses. The path was on the side of a mountain. So if that horse got a little off, he could fall down the mountain. So it was kind of a little freaky at times, especially at one time, my horse kind of did a sidestep weird. And I kind of like took a breath because I didn't know what he was doing. It was like something was spooking him or something. But the guy kind of looked at me and then kind of redirected the horse because I couldn't speak to him. He didn't speak English. He was catching. So he had it and I knew he had it. And then there was at a point where he took us off the path because it was a water bowl for the horses, a trough. So he took the horse up to the trough, which was nice that they were really taking care of the horses. The horses looked really healthy. And they put me on a horse because when we were in St. Kitts, they put us on tiny horses. And I said, we're big people. Don't put us on any tiny horses. But they had the good sized horses, healthy horses. And I felt comfortable on the horse. So it took us all the way up to the area where you had to walk. The sights along the way were gorgeous. I mean, just gorgeous on the mountain. We got up to the steps and we looked at each other. The other people, some of them tried to walk it, got part way, and then ended up taking a horse because they said they just couldn't take but a few steps and they lost their breath. So they ended up getting horses anyway to bring them to the step area. And you can kind of see how the mountain is different colors in it. And it says that the mountain is made up of 14 different colorful minerals, which was really pretty to see. As we're going by it, though, it looked like it was wet. And I said, it just looks like colorful mud, like it's wet. And but once you get by it, it took on a different look, like it was dry and it just had beautiful colors in it. And so we got to the stairs. Joy and I got to the stairs. And
I'm lagging. I might be lagging. Yeah, I'm lagging a little bit.
And we ended up, we walked up the hill to the stairs and we stopped. And we looked back and then we took pictures of the mountain. And then we would walk up 2 or 3 stairs, 3 or 4 stairs. And then we would kind of stop because he said, don't ever get to the point where you're breathing heavy. He said, you got to stop. Like you take a few steps and then you stop and you breathe and you take deep breaths and you breathe. And he's like, don't ever get to where like you're breathing really heavy. So we tried to take that and really do that. Like we could get a couple of steps going up and then we would stop and take a break and we would look back and we would take pictures or video. I have some video, so I will share that video in a upcoming video. But the mountain in the area, I would scan the area with my camera, and then we would turn around and look at each other, and then we'd say, okay, let's do a couple more steps. And we'd go a couple more steps up, and we would stop, and we would look back again, and we do a couple more steps. And we took it really, really slow going up, and we finally got to the top. And this picture is us at the very top of the area that we went to. And there was like, you could stand there at that one point and get the mountain straight on like that. They had a couple of alpacas up there that, you know, they were trying to get you to take pictures with. Of course, they want a tip. And in the bathroom, they had a bathroom up there, but it cost you like 2 soles to go to the bathroom, which is like 60 cents because a soles is like 33 cents. There's 3 soles and $1. But
ain't no hiding up there, is there?
No, it's gorgeous. And like I said, the one doctor that went up there, he said, I can't breathe. I've got to go back down. But look at the colors. I mean, the colors were just amazing in this mountain. It said in 2013, the mountain was covered with snow. It had like a glacier or something on it. And when that melted, all these colors started showing up. And that's when it became a tourist attraction, is after the snow melted off it. But that was our last thing that we did. And we went back down and enjoyed the rest of our evening and then went home. But these are the stairs that we climbed up. I have video of it, but I didn't take a whole lot of pictures of like the stair area because I was just trying to concentrate on my breath and stuff. But there was I don't know, probably maybe a quarter to a half a mile of steps that we had to walk up to get to the top. That was pretty amazing. Very colorful, very gorgeous. There, like I said, there was nothing in Peru that I would say, oh, I didn't like that. And I was really kind of hesitant about Rainbow Mountain just because I didn't think I would be able to do it. I thought it was out of my abilities, but I'm not one to quit. You know, just say you can, right? You just say you can and you do it. No, that was just some formations. They were talking about how the ground makes its own kind of patterns and formations and stuff. I was trying to find a good picture to end with. The road going up and down the mountain to get there and to leave was kind of one lane. They had little pull-off areas so that if you met a car coming, you could kind of pull aside and the other car could get around you. If you were going around the bend, you would either blow your horn, or if it was like we went early in the morning and it was still kind of dark, you would flash your lights so that somebody coming around would wait for you to get around, because you definitely wouldn't want to go off the side of this mountain. It was kind of freaky in places. I do have some video of that I'm going to share too. How high was it at the top of Rainbow Mountain? It was 16,250-ish feet above sea level. It was tall. It was a high, very, very high. It was our highest elevation that we went to. He did bring oxygen. Nobody needed the oxygen. It reminds you of the Emperor's New Groove. But yeah, this is just some of the mountainside and stuff. Are we there yet? We are there. We have been to the top of the mountain and back. What y'all think? Is it worth a trip to Peru now? Let me see. I was trying to see. I have video of me on the horse. This is Joy on the horse ahead of me. We did run into some alpaca. There was an alpaca when we came back down the mountain. There was an alpaca on our path, laying in the middle of our path. And the guy kind of shooed it out of our way so we could get the horse by it. But there were alpacas down the hill grazing and stuff. Definitely a cool trip. Definitely a cool trip. And I want to thank all you guys for supporting us and with the channel and coming in and supporting the live stream and chatting with us and hanging out. And I really, really appreciate it. Super cool. So we're thinking maybe we'll do it again. Not Peru, but maybe we'll do another live stream. Is Tuesday nights work? Maybe we'll do another live stream on Tuesday night. How do y'all feel about that? Are y'all live streamed out? I know a lot of people do live streams, but yeah, I'm glad you caught us live too, Kat. Do it. Sock says we need to do it. Okay, I have a couple ideas for live streams, but we'll have to see what comes up. I do have the recipe for the Peruvian bread that I fell in love with down there, and I'm going to try to make that. I don't think I'm going to do it on a live stream, though, because it has to take time to rise and stuff. I'm going to make a video, though, and share that. But I've got to first figure out how to convert the measurements on it to U.S. measurements. I don't think it's hard. I just haven't done it yet. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Angela. You would come to a hangout with us? That's cool. Anybody who wants to come to Virginia and hang out with us too, that's cool too. We're good with that. But it's snowing now, so you might not want to do it now. Peruvian bread makes you tired. You just lie around and loaf. Hey, we're good at that. What you talking about? All right. You got anything to say, Steve? Steve hasn't said anything yet, I don't think.
I'm good.
Except for once a Marine, always a Marine.
Ooh, yeah.
Do you, Kat? You need to come down to Virginia. I saw your video on Virginia Beach. That's been a while back, though. All righty. I've kept you guys long enough. I hope you've enjoyed it. I will put some videos together with the footage that I took. I did want to give you guys first look at the pictures and kind of go over it with you. I'm not going to go as in depth in the videos, but I am going to probably share the videos so you can kind of see the overlook of the area that I didn't get to show you and the stairs and stuff. The stuff I didn't really get to show you because I didn't have pictures, just video. Oh, cool. Don't leave without showing that hat. That hat? That hat?
What's the question?
No, he said don't go without showing the hat.
Oh, what I like about the hat, when you put it on, it's got this, I don't know what kind of lining it is in it, but when you put it on, it's really comfortable. It's very comfortable.
You want me to get my hat? Let me get my hat.
You can.
Hold on. Did I show you my hat the last time? Hold on.
It's actually warm. But I won't wear it to do any work in. I'll just keep it for keeping it in the house and keeping my head warm when the house is cold. And when it's 15 degrees out, it gets cold in here.
Oh, they saw my hat. It was in one of the pictures, I think. All right, so this is alpaca. It's an adult alpaca wool scarf, and chayachu. What is that? Ayacucho. It's Ayacucho. Ayacucho.
Achoo.
Ayacucho. That's where we were. We were in Ayacucho. This is Peru. The mayor of the little village that we went and did our clinics at gave us all these little Peru hats. I got the little strings. I wore this up on Rainbow Mountain to keep my little head warm because we knew it was going to be cold. Thank you, Angela. All right. Well, thank you all for coming and hanging out. It's been an hour and a half. We've had a lot of fun. We'll do this again. Steve will have a role the next time. Maybe he'll have the laughing monkey or something. Can't even get him to laugh. Oh my gosh. All right. Y'all have a great evening. Thank you. Thank you for hanging out. And
it's all about the adventure.
Yes, indeed. Thank you. I will see y'all on the next video tomorrow or on the next live stream. Did you get an ornament? I have a little alpaca that actually one of the ladies in one of the shops gave me because I bought some other stuff. So she said, oh, here, have an alpaca. So it's a little green, kind of like knitted alpaca. And I hung it on the tree. So that's my Peru ornament. So Merry Christmas, y'all. If I don't see you before then. And I know I will. You guys check out your channels. So I will catch up with y'all later. Bye.